Hello, hello, welcome everybody. Hope you guys had a good 2 weeks of me being off, but I am back now. Hello, I am back now and ready to solve some puzzles. I've only best 2 weeks of your life. Starting with Nessie is maybe not a great idea, but we'll see. I mean, it's still very hot in my apartment. It feels just like Mexico, but a lot more dry, which is much worse, of course. Once you're finished watching the feature. Oh, congratulations, by the way, Neverio. Congratulations on your feature. I'm not caught up with the current puzzles, so I have no idea what the title is even talking about, but I'm sure it's brilliant. All right. I'm guessing these rules will take a little bit to understand. Hello, nerdy. Uh, and I haven't done one of these. I see that it's Riverbank 4, so presumably there's been a couple of Riverbank Sudokus. Oh, I thought this was fitting when oh, there we go. I'm too zoomed in. Very excited for this. Okay. Good. I'm not sure what to think yet. I haven't really read through the rules. I think I read through the rules once when Little Ball of Purr sent it to me to begin with, but I haven't looked at it since. Episode 3 was interesting. It's interesting not to publish the first two, but call it the episode 4. Makes everyone think they missed episode 1 and 2. All right, let's read through the rules here. Locate a river. Well, first of all, it's normal Sudoku rules, so fill every row, column, box with digits 1 to 9 once each. I think we're all familiar with that part of the rules. It says river and river bank. Locate a river. Think classical snake in the grid. So sort of a one cell wide, non-overlapping, non-looping, and non-branching string of orthogonal cells connected together, which has one end and one beginning. So something like this would almost be a snake, but right here it's touching itself. And it says which may not touch itself orthogonally, but may diagonally. So we can't do this because it's coming around here and then it's touching itself on this border. So we can't do that, but we can do something like this. That would work because these two cells are touching each other diagonally, but not orthogonally. So it's only being slightly naughty. Each border between a river cell and a non-river cell is a river bank segment. This precludes the grid edge from ever being counted as a river bank. Let me just read that again. Each border between a river cell and a non-river cell. So, okay, so that means that this border right here of our sort of river snake is this border here, let me put it in green, is a river bank segment. But the edge of the grid is not a river bank segment because there's no there's no non-river cells on the other side of these borders. So this wouldn't be a river segment, but this would be. Okay, riverbank sweeper and sentinel. Each circled cell is a riverbank sweeper, which counts riverbank segments within the up to 3x3 surrounding cells. So I guess that means that in the box, the 3x3 area around this circle, it counts the number of riverbank cells. So I guess it would count if I'm drawing these with X's, it would count these riverbank segments, or maybe it also counts the ones like, would it count this one? No, it doesn't. It doesn't count that one, as you see here. See example image. Yes, very helpful to see the example image. Wait, did we miss the square? We missed the square. Each squared cell, oh, then this would be, in this example, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be a 6 then. If this was our river and that was the 3x3 box around it. Okay, the square. Oh, that's funny. Henry P.I. James just left for his vacation. That's kind of funny. Okay, squares. Squares is a riverbank sentinel, which counts riverbank segments in its row and column combined. So add them together. See example image. So it basically, instead of the circle situation, if we had this setup where, say, we're looking at this one, then we would look at all the cells in its row and column. These cells that are greenified right now, and we look, where does it see a river bank segment? That is a section which has, or a border between cells which are river and non-river. So right here is a riverbank segment, 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 and right here is a riverbank segment. That is 3 plus 2 is 5. So this would be a 5 then, because it sees this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, I think that's all the rules, except for that there's no rule about whether or not there could be other of these circles and squares. We don't know if there could be other ones. There probably could be valid ones, or there might not be. It says there's no negative constraint at all. So not all circles and squares are necessarily given. So I could have a situation in which this cell was a valid circle clue, but we don't even have to think about that because it says that you don't have to think about that in the rules itself. All right, so now that we have covered the rules, and if you were late for that, you might want to look because they're quite interesting. I guess we can scroll down so that we've passed the snake bit. I think the sentinel, so the riverbank and the sentinel and the sweeper are sort of the important parts of the rules, so I'm going to leave those up. Hello, SPQ. Welcome to the stream. Okay, we're going to leave those up, and we're going to try and solve the puzzle. I'm going to reset the grid, or reset. The grid is already reset, but I'll reset the timer. Okay, so the immediate thing that jumps out at me, which is great for setting, if you're going to start a puzzle, you might as well start it in box 1. There's no reason to not start in box 1. So let's start in box 1. There's a lot of things here. So we should really just think about, in general, and this is a great way also to set a puzzle, in general, what values can these circles and squares have? Specifically, I want to think about this one. This one in the corner is very interesting because it is one that only, so the circles see their 3x3 box around them, but of course this part of the 3x3 box is sort of outside the grid. It does say up to 3x3. So these cells are the only cells that this sees. So, and the only borders it sees are that one, that one, that one, and that one. So that's only 4 borders, so this is a maximum of 4. But I have a feeling it can't be as low as 1. Yeah, that is actually true. So note in this example image over here, where it has this circle, these ones outside here are not contributing to this total. So what I can't do is I can't bring a snake or a river in here and say that this is one riverbank segment in this 2x2 area, because this one, at least according to what right here is a good example. So this one goes by it, right? So the only way we could give sort of a 1 count here is if we sort of brush by this thing. But we can't even do that because that is not actually counting towards the total. It's only the ones in here. So either this one, this one, this one, or this one. So we can't actually get this to 1, because if we did get it to 1, then we would necessarily get it to 2. Unless our snake was... No, we can't. So any cell we take here, if I try to take just this cell, right? Which would be sort of the minimum amount of cells I could take. Is just, let's just take that cell, for example. Then there's going to be one border here and one border here. And if I try to reduce that, hello, Riff Clown. Nice to see you in stream. If I try to reduce that by putting another water cell here, well, then I've just sort of made the problem equally as bad, because I've gotten rid of one border, but I always get another border here. Yeah, maybe one if the snake could stick out its tongue into there, yeah. So what we're saying is that this can never be 1. Now, I think it's very likely that it's 2, but I'm almost sure that it can't be 4. Because if it was 4, then all of these things would have to be borders between river and non-river. And that is only true if we have a snake that does something like this, where these two cells, obviously this couldn't be water in that case. I keep saying snake, but I mean, you know what I mean. If this flow was water, then we couldn't escape because those are all going to be riverbank segments. So if this is what the snake would have to do, that does give us 4. Is there any feedback from the, I have some fans going because it's very hot, but I'm just wondering if there's any feedback from those. Because I might turn the one in this room up a bit because it's very hot. I'm actually going to do that. Okay, I've turned the fan up, so let me know if there's any feedback still. Or if there is feedback now that there wasn't before. Okay, so for this to be 4, it would be very restricted. I think it could be 2 very easily. Okay, that's encouraging, at least. I think it could be 2 very easily with, say, if you just took one cell, any of these 3 cells, if you just take one of them, the count will be 2. If you take all 3 of these cells, the count is 2. If you take any 2 cells in here, the count is 2. So how can the count be 3 is the real question. If the count is 3, then let's just try to think about that. Then we'd have, the count can't be 3 without the count being 4, because that would require, say that, so this is like blue, right? Then if we say that outside of the river is green, then these are blue and green. Well, then this has to be green, right? But then this has to be blue, because it's has a border between it. It's a different color than this. But now this thing is blue and green, so it must have a border, but that means the count is 4 and not 3. Okay, interesting. So in this little corner, we can never get an odd count, which is kind of weird. But we could very easily do 2, and 4 seems really hard because you have to do exactly these 2 being water and these 2 being land, and these would be the head and the tail of the snake. but I'm not convinced that we know that's not true. But it's probably going to be that one of these cells will tell us the answer. So this is the most restricted circle in the grid. All the squares are equally restricted in, at least right now, because they all see all the things in their row, all the things in their column. So the circles are what we have to focus on right now. Now, all these circles on the edge, and this one and these two, are slightly less restricted than the one in the corner, but still have to be within 6, because there's only, wait, no, that's not true. That's not actually true. I was thinking about cells as the sweepers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is very odd. I would not have guessed that that would be 7. Okay, so all the ones on the edge are 7 and below, which is very strange. I'm just going to highlight them in light gray for now, just to sort of jog my memory. I don't want to pencil them with 7 candidates. Okay, so there's 2 situations in terms of this corner. Either we have these 2 being blue and the snake coming out like this, or we have just 2 of these being taken, or just one of them being taken. Because if we just took one of these cells out of the 4 cells, obviously we couldn't take that one, but if we just took one cell, actually out of these 4 cells, there's either 1 cell taken in terms of the snake, or there's 2 cells taken. Oh no, there could be 3 cells taken if you did that, because that would be a segment, and that would be a segment as well. Right, okay. So we never take all 4 segments. But of course, that would mean the snake would be touching itself. So that would not work anyway. But we need to focus maybe on this cell. So this cell can see 7 borders, but in here, in this little segment, it's going to see the same number as here. So it's either going to see 2 or 4 from here, and then from here, here, and here, so then it has 3 other things to sort of play with. So it's either going to be, could it be as high as 7? If it's as high as 7, then somehow we're getting all 3 boundaries, but that doesn't work because we need the 4 boundaries over here, but then we'd also need 3 boundaries, but to get 4 boundaries over here, we have to have 1 less boundary here. We'd have to do this. So then this wouldn't be a boundary anymore. So what we know is that this can't be 7. This is now bounded to 6 or lower. And it can't ever be 1 because this is at minimum 2. And I don't think it could ever be 2 because if this is 2, then, well, then this is 2, right? Wait, isn't this digit always greater than this digit? Because if these were these can't be the same digit, obviously, right? So I'm pretty sure this digit is always greater than this one. Yeah, that just makes sense because you need to add something to this. You can't have this being less than this because this entirely encapsulates it. Right, of course. Big dumb. Big dumb me. Okay. I now have a table next to me for water, so I can drink water more often and keep myself hydrated so I don't pass out while doing this stream in. I guess it's only 25 right now, but my apartment's 28. Drink from the river, indeed. Okay. We're 10 minutes in and we have 2 pencil marks and no shaded cells. So not too great. So let's think about all these cells together maybe, because Because these don't have a lot of options, I guess. Is there anything that's also... So this one right here, I'll label it the orange one and the pink one are interesting to me because this one sees these cells, right? But this one sees these cells, so we know that this one is greater than this one, just like this one sees all those cells and these two as well. I think this is sort of like standard sweeper ideas, but I haven't solved that many. I guess the same thing applies here with these cells and these cells. So now this one has to be greater than that. Trying to think, like, what's a good bound on this cell? I guess we have a bound of 9 on this. So this is at minimum, or at maximum, we already know it's maximum 7, so that's not very helpful. Maximum 7. Is 7 ever possible? No, 7 is not possible. Let's think about 7 in this cell. If 7 is in that cell, right? Then that means that every single one of these lines that we could draw must be drawn. And remember that this means that each of these cells has river on one side and non-river on the other side. Now, obviously, we're not going to have a one-cell river. This is not going to be our river. So we know that this one is our land. So then these 3, which are adjacent to it and across the boundary, must be river, and these must be land. But now, these 3 are 3 river cells, which must be the start or end. And there's only 2 starts or ends to a snake or river. So 7 does not work. So we actually can bound all of these to 6 or less. I don't know if I want to write in the pencil marks, but I kind of feel like I should. Because I'll forget that they can't be 7. Okay, can we go further? Is 6 maybe problematic? Because 6 is only 1 less than that. So if I draw back in that 7, right? What boundary can we erase so that this is now okay? Well, we can't erase that boundary or any boundary around here, right? Because if we did that, then what we would be doing is we'd be putting either snake or land here. It actually doesn't matter which one. But then these 2 cells, which are different from each other, are also both different from this same thing, which will not work because if these 2 cells are different from each other, they can't be different from that. That would need 3 different types of things where we only have 2. So we can't get rid of any of those boundaries. So if we get rid of something like that, that's the exact same problem. We would have 2 cells here which have to be the same because there's no boundary, but now these 2 cells are different from these 2 cells, but are also different from each other, which requires 3 different types of things. Okay, this is cool. So we know that 6 does not work either in any of these cells. That's not really helping with this being higher than this, though, because now we've eliminated high digits from here and not low digits from here. Kind of annoying. But is 1 ever possible on any of these? I don't think so, because you have to whenever you come into here at all, you're going to have to, you just cannot. You can't get rid of 1, or you can't reduce your count. Wait, can you? That's a good question. Can you reduce your count once you come in? So if I come into here, right? The riverbank count is 3 right now. if I take this cell, right, to try to reduce my count by 1, then what happens? Well, it reduces my count by 1, but it increases my count by 1 here. And that's going to happen no matter where we do this, right? If we do here, well, that is 2. Oh, we can get rid of 1s, right? We can get rid of 1s. Thank you. Which makes a 1 to 5 quintuple. I don't see a quintuple, but I do see that there's a quadruple here, which means that this cell is either 1, which it isn't, I'm pretty sure, or it's really high, which is kind of cool. There's also a quadruple in the box, which seems probably more useful. For example, this cell. How could this cell ever be 1? We have the same problem as we have always had with these circles. They can't be 1. They just cannot be 1 because you can't come into here and reduce that count at all. Whatever you come into here at to begin with, I have two boundaries right now. If I take that one, I get rid of one boundary, but I create another one here. So no matter what you do here, you can't destroy boundaries. You will always either have the same number of boundaries or more. Same number of boundaries or more. So that means 2 is really difficult, isn't it? Or is it? No, actually, that's 2. Is it 3 that's difficult again? Because I can do 3 like this, right? And I can do 3 like this. Oh, this is also 3, isn't it? Yeah, that's also 3. Okay. That was 3, by the way? Oh, right. Sorry. If I drew this thing, there's one boundary here, and another boundary here. Thank you, Nordy. Right. So, sorry. If I come into here like this, that is 2. Right. Okay. Weird. Okay. Okay, so one of the things up here is 5. 5 seems really hard. 6 was really hard, right? But 6 was impossible, so 5 is gotta be really hard. Let's go back down here and look at our example 7, and let's try to think about how do we remove. We can't remove one of these things and make it so that we can do 6. But we could remove 2 things and make it 6. Otherwise, this is broken, right? Because this is a quadruple, so there is one of these things that is 5. So if we couldn't remove 2 and it not be broken, then the puzzle's broken. So we can remove 2 of these things and it not be broken. But which one of these things can we remove? Well, if we remove something like this, right? Then the problem was that these would be the same color, and that these 2 would be different colors from it. And we can't have, and different colors from each other. And we can't have 3 different colors. So if we removed something like this line, we would need to remove one of these 3 lines. One of the lines that make it so that that is a problem. I don't think removing this one works though, because that would mean that we have the same problem with these 2 cells and this thing. Now that might not be general to one case, which is, or maybe more than one case. I was thinking about this one, where these 2 are different. Oh no, you still have to resolve 2 of them. Okay. Wait, that was the line that I removed, which gave that problem. Yeah, I see now. So you'd have to resolve 2 of these sort of side ones if you remove the middle sort of ring thing. I don't know how to describe this. So if we try to remove something like this, when we've removed that, then we have this is different from that. So that means that this would be an end. This would be an end then. So what I'm really trying to do with this exploration is not find exactly what is happening, but I want to find, is there an end? Is there a head or tail in this configuration where there is 5? And I think there probably is. Let's say there isn't. Let's say there isn't a head or tail. Then we can have no cells which are like this. What does that mean? No cells that are like that. So the only... I don't think you can do that. I mean... See, when you do this, you have to get rid of 2 things. Oh, is that gonna work? No, that's 3. Oh, okay, so you can't remove that one. Because if you remove the top one in the middle, you have to remove 2 more lines. And we're trying to make 5, which is only, we can only remove 2 lines at all. So we definitely cannot remove that one and have this work. If we remove that one, we could do that, and that would be working. That one, 1, 2, 3. That one does work, but it does create a head or tail. And this is all symmetric, of course. So this line is the same as that one. And we've already looked at removing this. So the only other option is removing these, which might work, but would make a head or tail because these two would be, one of these would be a head or tail. So I'm fairly confident we've proved that there is a head or tail in this situation. I'm not sure if there's a good way to prove it. So if we definitely can't remove this line because then we need to remove 2 more lines to make it work. And if we were to remove this line, then no matter what other line we remove, which has to be one of these 3, because that's currently a problem, no matter which one of them we remove, we will create a head or tail of the snake. And if we remove that one, then we're either going to remove this one, which is the same case as before, or this one, which does create a head or tail of the snake. So no matter what we do, we do create a head or tail of the snake. So 5 creates a head or tail of the snake. So that makes me think, if this was a 5, then this would be a 5. And that would be 2 heads or tails of the snake in the puzzle, which means that none of these could be 5s, which is quite interesting. But there is definitely a 5 in this box, which is in a circle. Or maybe we should, why are we thinking about this? We should just think about this one, shouldn't we? Or maybe we think about whether 1 could ever go in one of these cells? What's happening to this right now? Well, it's kind of hard because if this was a 4, then these would be the head and tail of the snake, which would mean... Oh, wait. I just realized something. if this is a 5, then this is a 5. That's pretty obvious to see because there's no 5 in here, so the 5 in the box is here. But also, if this is a 5, then this is a 5, because there would be no 5 in this row except for here, because this is a quadruple. So either there is a 5 in both of these cells, or there is one 5 in here. And I'm fairly certain that if this is a 4, yeah, if this is a 4, then we can't have double 5. Row 1. Oh, in other words, yes, these two cells are identical because there's a quadruple and this digit goes there, obviously. Oh my word. The heat's getting me, I guess. Already. We're like 20 minutes in. And using a coaster. Whoopsie. That's interesting. Very interesting. So if this is a 4, then one of these two is a 5, right? And there can't be any other 5s in here, because this would be the head of the sink. Okay. Oh, but I guess the other thing to think about is there is a 4 in here. No matter whether this is a 4 or not, there is a 4 in here. And a 4 is only one less than a 5. So there's a lot of riverbanks in this area. Actually, if this cell was a 4 or 5, we would have an absurd amount of riverbanks. Which makes me very skeptical whether any of these squares could be 1. Because if a square is 1, right? If a square is 1, that means that it has to look something like this. So all of these cells would be well, they'd all be one color. They could either be snake or non-snake. Actually, they can't either be snake or non-snake. Maybe here they could be snake or non-snake? Here, wait, maybe this being all snake. Wait, I just colored these blue, which is like the literal only color that I shouldn't have colored them. So these being all blue, does that mean this could work? Like, that would mean this has to come down here. I'm trying to make it so that this is a 1. Just trying to understand what a 1 in a square means. I think this would sort of work. I mean, probably not with these things, but I think in general, a 1 on the edge at least could work fairly, not easily for sure. That was not easy to do, but fairly easily. I can't disprove it at least. So 1 in a non-edge case would mean that either the row or column is entirely one color, either all land or all river. And then in the other row or column, you would need to have, actually, if it's off of the edge, could it ever be river? Is that what I was thinking? Could it all ever be river? Because then you would need to branch, wouldn't you? Yeah, you would need to branch because this sees already this already sees 2 riverbanks. So if it is in outside off the edge, then you would need you would need to have an entire column of land. You couldn't do any water. So then that would mean that this would all be land as well, which would already break this if this was a 1. But disregard that for now. I'm just thinking about generally, it could squares be 1. And then in this row, none of these cells could ever be water. Because if any of them were water... No, wait. They could be water. They could be water. But the point is that this cell is always the river, and it could come this way and then leave, but this cell is always the one that, because it can't see a riverbank on this side, it's always the one that's catering for this one, the edge between the non and the blue, and it has to be a continuous sequence, so it has to be something like this. I was thinking that it had to be exactly this, but actually this water could come over here any amount of distance, and then that would be fine as well, as long as it doesn't pass this line. Yeah, okay, so we do know that a 1 here is broken, and a 1 here would be broken as well, because it would make all of these cells non-river. But a 1 here, I don't think that's broken. And even if it is, then we just get a 1 here, which is just a useless sort of digit. There's no 1s in circles anyway, so... And that 1 doesn't really do anything to the circles, or in Sudoku-wise, it doesn't really do anything. The 1 not being here or here, by the way, is because if all of these were green and not river, then obviously this would be broken because it has to see riverbanks in this area. I feel like I'm talking like a crazy person. Like everyone watching the stream is just like, what? Because so many of these things are such weird deductions. They're just very bizarre. I might be making things too complicated, like more complicated than they need to be, as in. Very weird indeed. Okay, so I feel like we're so close to figuring this out. Actually, if this is a 1, I do feel like that might make this impossible to be either 2 or 4. But no, it's fine. It's probably fine. I think it's probably fine. Maybe. I'm not sure. This being a 1 seems ridiculous in terms of the row, because like if these have no... If there are no edges over here except for 1, the 5 seem broken. Maybe think about 2 in a non-corner edge. Yeah, that might be a good idea, because we already ruled out 1 from here. So 2 in a non-corner edge 1. Let's use this one because that's our example one. So if I want to make 2 in a non-corner edge, I've already said that if we took this cell, right, that has a count of 3 already. And we can never reduce the count by taking another cell. So taking that cell won't reduce the count because we've reduced this edge right here, but we've gained 1. So we're never going to reduce the count. So we can never take that cell if this is a 2. Furthermore, we can never take that cell either because coming into there is already 1, 2, 3, and we can't reduce the count. Let's just keep that in mind. We cannot reduce the count. If we took this cell, that would be 2. But if we took... Yeah, so if we took any of these 4 cells individually or as a pair of 2, that would work for 2. Like if I took these 2 cells and didn't take these 2 cells for the river, then that is a count of 2. This border and this border. As well, if I just took that one, that's a count of 2. And if I just took that one, that's also a count of 2. And it's symmetric on the other side. So in this area, in this row and in this box, we have a situation in which yes. We have this, if this is a 4, then we have a situation in which there is a central domino of land. What does this mean? This is such a strange puzzle so far. Oh. Well, let's think about when this was 4. Because when this was 4, we knew that these 2 had to be land and these 2 had to be water, right? But then these can't be 2 anymore because they're water now. So they can't have a central domino of land. This being a 2 meant that these 2 cells had to be land. So these 2 cells can't be 2, and now there's nowhere for 2 in the box. So the point is that once we understand the workings of several things, we can finally get that this is a 2. Which means that it is not the situation in which these 2 are land. And that is all it means. That's all it means. There is not a situation in which there is a what is that called? There's a name for this. Checkerboard. There is not a checkerboard of land and water in this corner. And that's all it means. Okay. I don't think this could be 5. If this was 5, then you would need, since these 4 cells here, oh God. Whoopsie. Since these 4 cells here have at most 2 in them, you would need to take all 3 of these boundaries. All 3 of those boundaries. And what was the problem with that again? It made sense in my head for a second. Okay, well now these 2, did those have to be the same? If we could prove these 2 have to be the same, then we know it's wrong. Is that what I... So if there isn't a line, or if there is a line here, then we have a checkerboard again, right? Is a checkerboard okay? Yep, it is. I'm pretty sure it's okay. Okay. We know these 2 are the same. We know these 2 are the same. So if they And we know that a 5 always has a snake head or tail. So if they were both 5, then that would be the head and tail of the snake. We know at least that there is a head or tail of the snake up here. Because wherever the 5 goes in this row, it will be the head or tail of the snake. But what does that mean? Yeah, it did look broken, but yeah, let's go back. No, I don't think this is broken because you can do these as land, these as water, this is water, this is land. That's 4 here, right? This is a 4 then. So this would have to be a 3. Yeah, I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. Ah, so if this is water, then this is a thingy, and if this is land, then this is a thingy. So there's an extra thingy. So there's always an extra thingy for this one if this is a 5. That's really hard. I'm not sure if that's intended. Yeah, it does look like double 5. Right, okay. The row 2 water has to escape without touching itself. I think that's fine. But I think the double 5 is the problem. Now this one seems like it can't be 5 either, right? Because so there, let me just think about this. So no matter where we put the 5, right? There's sort of seven thingies that are unaccounted for in this area. There are 3 in one of these and 4 in the other. But there are only 5 in here. So there has to be 2 thingies in sort of these cells. Not exactly these cells because it could pass over here, but exactly 2 thingies out here. And if we do that over here, it's sort of the same idea where there has to be, oh, maybe not the same idea because there's 5 in here now. Oh, that's very different now. Okay, never mind. That's not quite extendable as I thought it was. It is extendable. Although one of these 2 is a 5. So how does a 5 anywhere here interact with this 2? If I have a 2 1 cell away from a 5, what does that mean? Does that mean something interesting? Feels like it must. Because 5... So there's... If we look at the cells that sort of don't see this, we could put lines here, 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 and here. which is six different lines, but we can't do 6 different lines here because that's going to be a whole world of problems, I think. Or we try to do 5 lines in this area. So we got rid of like that line. Then that's a problem because these two will be the same, but these two will be different from this and each other. This one will be a problem too. That one will be a problem too. That one will also be the same problem, same. I'm not sure about that one. Learning more about 5 on the edge could be helpful either through discovering the general principle. Oh boy. What is the general principle? So let's think about our 5s again, because there's not actually that many 5s that can exist in the world. There's lots of symmetries to it. So there's that one. There's that one. There's that one. That's all of them. There's only 3. Ah, oh, this is interesting. So there's always a checkerboard. There's always a checkerboard. There's always a checkerboard. I definitely sound like I'm going insane now. Not as insane as when we did Rocco's puzzle. What was it? Shards. That was insane. But that just went up my nose. There's always a border away from the grid. Oh, that's true. I did say that. I said that we couldn't remove that border, but I didn't sort of internalize that. So there's always a border here or here. And there's always a plus there, there. That one looks sus. That one looks really suspicious. Because this, so whatever color this is, why do I keep picking the worst colors? Let's say orange and gray. Whether gray comes in here or orange comes in here, because one of them is river. Well, I guess you could do that and orange here. Although, wait. More importantly, row 1, column 2 becomes 3 bigger than row 1, column 1. Oh, you're totally right. So we couldn't do that. But also the interesting thing that I just noticed was that wherever we put this plus shape, because it's on all of these iterations, the one next to it will have to be a 4 because it sees 4 now. If this is a 5 and there's a plus shape here, this has to be a 4. and it can't see any more borders. So in fact, this is broken because you can't see any more borders here, but this needs to be 2, not 1. And that's another way of saying that this is 3 plus this one if there's 3 here. So whichever one of, and we can't put it here, so we're either, if we could put it here, that wouldn't really affect that. But what about this? So if this is a plus, that means that this is a 4, 5, right? So then this would be a 3. But now we somehow have to make one of these a 4 without taking any more borders. If 5 forces a checkerboard, does a checkerboard force a 5? Are you saying that if we did this, then these would both be 5? That seems very plausible because that's what happened before. So this is what I'm thinking about. Column 4, row 1, 2. Oh yeah, that's true. This is always a border because either there is a cross here or across here. That's a good spot, SPQ. But the thing that we were thinking about is if we have a cross like this, can there be a 4 here without using any other borders here? And I'm fairly certain the answer is no. If we try to make, it doesn't really matter which one of these we use, does it? Let's use this one, it's the less restricted one. So if we try to make this water, it has to get out. This has to be land. Now, if this is land or water, we're going to have another border in here. So this cannot be 4 if this is water. But if this is land, then the trick is that if this is water, then there's a border. So it can't be water, it must be land. But then this must be water because it has border, and now this can't be water or land, or it would have a border here or here. That's the trick. It's sort of this thing right here. This can't have a border, so these have to be the same, but these can't have borders. So those all have to be the same, exactly. Boom. So we actually cannot draw that line. We have to draw this one, which means that this one would have to be the 5. We don't know if this is 3 or 4 yet. We probably do, but that was from a little bit of a thing before. So now we know that the head and tail of the snake. Hello, La Ropasukia? Sushia? I'm so sorry. I'm horrible with names. You'll have to forgive me. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you around before, but welcome. We are doing Riverbank 4 Nessie, and it is quite interesting. Let's just put it that way. I've liked some parts of it a lot so far. But anyways, we have this. There is one in the description. It's in the puzzles we have on queue today, just below the Discord link. It's the first in the queue. All right. We see 5, but we've only seen 4. So we need to add a line somewhere here in one of these 3 areas, these 3 borders. And whichever line we draw in one of these 3 places we will increase the total of this cell by 1. It's already 1, it will be increased to 2. But we couldn't draw any more lines in this area. So the question is, if we increase that one by 1, I'm trying to get sort of like, I'm trying to see if these are resolved yet. Because if we increase that by 1, we have to use cells over here if we want to get to 4. So that would be 1 plus 3 is 4. And that would be 3 already here, but this would only be 2. So yeah, so we actually know that just from sort of looking at these and thinking what order do they go in, how big can they be, this has to be 3, this has to be 4, because if this was a 4, then it would need to take these borders, because it can't take any more from the 5 area, and 5 only takes 1 more of these borders. But taking those 3 borders means that the 3 that would be here is complete, and the 2 cannot be complete. So we sort of have to allocate correctly, and the allocation that is left over from the 4 is 2 from this side. So then we can give the 2 left over to the 3 plus the 1 from the 5. Check my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if I did that line, yes, all the circles are not 5. I don't think I can do the line that I just drew, and we can get rid of these 5 versions. I think I kind of understand how it works now. Oh, this border is counted by this. Right, sorry. Right, sorry. I completely missed that this border right here is counted by this cell. So this border sees 1, 2 from the 5, right? So if we did a line like that, and we already see 2, so if it was 4, it would need to see 2 more. Which could work, couldn't it? No, it would need to do this. This sort of thing. Yeah, that would work. Okay. Why did the 3, 4 go away? Sometimes the pen tool is really glitchy with the pencil marks. Okay, so I don't think we know the order of here, because I think it could go either way. I mean, maybe the other way around is broken or something. So the 4 can give, well, this could be shared by all of them. We really don't want to share things. This could be shared by the 3 and the 2. This is confusing. I'm just gonna... We don't need to determine the order of it. It's fine. So in this area, this one will only see 3 or 4. But it needs to get to at least a 6. But it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other ones it could take. That's too many. That's a lot. That means it could get to 9, couldn't it? I mean, it probably can't get to 9, but it could, maybe, theoretically. I thought this was gonna get easier now. It's not. It's not getting easier. Um, uh, that's a good question. It will get easier. Well, it already sees 1 here, and it will definitely see 1 from the 5. So no, it can't be 1. It definitely cannot be. So that's a 1. Yay! We got 1 in this box. Oh, we already got digits before. Not as yay. Mild yay. Okay. So we have this 1. We know that these are all 6, 7, 8, 9, but they're not very helpful because we can put like 16 boundaries we could do for here, and the minimum is, or the maximum is now 9, which is a lot less than the maximum 16. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can't do 16, but if we did like some kind of weird like snake thing that went like this, you could try to maximize it. But it really doesn't tell us what's going on. Okay, so if we put the cross this way, what does that mean for our 2? The 2 will already see 1 here. Although we do know that the head and tail of the snake are now determined to be in this area, in these cells and these cells. So it seems very unlikely that the head and tail of the snake both come into this box. It would be a very short snake, I think, in that case. Maybe we should start with like coloring these colors that we don't know what exactly they are, but we're going to color them anyway. Is that a good idea? Well, now, can this... So if this line is there, then this is obviously going to be the land, right? Yeah, brutal, yeah. A bit, yeah. It is a 5-star puzzle, isn't it? Yes, it is. We will get this thing rated, though. For better or worse. So... Oh yeah, it's all Little Ball of Fur's fault. It's always his fault. So what does this do? It's weird because thinking about the plus and the other 5, it seemed like it would be helpful, but then it wasn't. I mean, so that one is not very restricted, is it? I guess we can also say that this is a line, right? We know that one. That one is definitely a line. Okay. Sounds good, Rifan. Oh my word. Okay, so if that is the cross, then as we said, the 2 only needs one more cell to it, or one more border to it. If it got the border there, then we would need to make these the water, right? And then that would need to escape. That has 1, 2. That actually works. That's a third head, is it? Oh, you're right, because the 5 has the head. Right, okay. We need to be careful about not creating any more heads. That's a good point, Riffpound. There's a 5 in one of these cells. That might be useful at some point. That is a third head. So we need to be careful about not creating other heads. This is weird. So if we did this, then how does the 2 get its other cell? If it does this, that's not going to create another head, but this cell, if this line was drawn, that would, useful 6 hours from now, maybe, this would create another head. So the only way this one would work is with this line. And that line would mean that these 2 are land, so that these 2 are water. This is water, which is the head. Okay, so let's think about this for a second, because I think this might be an issue. Yeah, that's what I was about to say, is how does this thing get out of here without becoming a head or tail? Now we can make this the head or tail, but then this can't get out because this has to come here, right? And then this has to come out, which would touch itself. Yeah, that does not work. That does not work. That would make this the head or tail of the snake no matter what. So that also does not work. So no matter what happens, if we make this the cross, then we're creating another head or tail of the snake. Is it going to get easier now? I really hope. I really hope it's going to get easier now. Because that was really hard. That was a really hard step. I think that was harder than some of the other stuff, to be honest. So one of these one of these borders is in. These 2 borders are not doing anything to appear. So let's think about this one. A quarter star is easier. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. You're funny, Nordy. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, is it... So if we did this, right? We did that, or that. I'm just trying to think, because either of these, if that's the case, right, then this is land, so this is water. Oh, this is broken, isn't it? Because if this is land and this is water, then how is this water going to get out but not be the head or tail of snake? It can't. It just can't. So if we try not to make this a head or tail of snake, because this one is now a head or tail of snake, so the head or tail of snake for this 5 is used in this cell. So if we did this, right, that's required, right, for this to be true. These are not head or tail of snake. But then this is the head or tail of snake now. So, yeah. And I think the same is true here. How are we going to make this work without creating 2 heads or tails of snake? Because if these are water, they're heads or tails of snake. So those are not water. So these are water. Well, that might actually work. Okay, that might actually work. Can row... Yeah, I got that now. Yeah, always need 3 cells to turn, for sure. So this one is not a border. That one seems possible. If this is the case, is it possible that this is land? That's the next question. Because if this is land, right? Or wait, sorry, these two. If this is land, this can't be water because that would be a head or tail of snake, so that's also going to be land. But also these are water, which is what I was interested in. Now, if those are water, we could do this, couldn't we? Oh, wait. But doesn't that mean no matter what happens? No, that's what I was trying to prove. Sorry. Getting so confused. See, that looks okay. If that is the case, then we do need lines at least there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course it works. Oh, here? Yeah, that is possible. Yeah. It's unfortunate because I was hoping to say that this is always water, was what I was thinking. But if this was water in that case, then it seems fine as well. Yeah, I got what you meant. Water. Start a puzzle in box 1, finish a puzzle in box 1, is what we're doing today, I guess. So I don't feel like I got anywhere with the coloring over here. What about the coloring over here? So if I do orange and gray, I know that that's gray. Can that also be gray? Only if this is a line. If this is a line, then that is orange. Sorry, I'm thinking about this cell and its relationship to this, and was wondering, maybe I sort of superfluously said this probably can't be 9, but maybe it can't be anything but 6. That's maybe my thought process is that this can only be 6. If it's higher than 6, if it's 7, can be 7, right? There's an 8 in here, right? Ugh. It's only 5 stars, but there's no 6-star option. And I'm hot. I'm very warm in this 29-degree apartment. So if this is 7, what kind of shape are we looking at? Because we have to do quite a bit of wiggling to get 7, right? But there's not much wiggle room. We can't, like, wiggle up out of the grid. Geez, I wish it was an icicle. This one? Well, yeah, I want to determine whether or not there's a border here or here, but which determines the color of this. But I don't. I see both are as completely valid options. I mean, if we do this, then this has to be water, right? And the water can't go up. So the water would have to go down. Well, it could go this way, but it can never go up ever. So if this is water, well, if this is orange, then we, oh wait, one of these two cells is water, isn't it? That's it, that's it. So if this line is in, these two can't be, wait, no, sorry, these two can't be water. Ah, crap. I got it the wrong way around. That's why. SPQ says that these two cannot both be water. Yeah, water will have to escape from box 1 in some way. If these are both water, yeah, I don't think there's enough wiggle to make these both water, because if I make them both water, then it's a head or tail of the snake. But I also have to escape into box 1, because that's the point of trying to do this, which would create a head or tail of the snake. And then we would have 2 heads or tails of the snake, which we can't. So I agree, these cannot both be water. But the water has to come through here somewhere, which either means that if this was the water, then this would be land, and then we'd have this arrangement. Which I guess oh god. I really don't want to work on like trying to disambiguate these using this. That seems a bit much. Okay, fair enough. I make this gray. Right, so if I make that gray, then it is water, because in this case, these can't both be water because that would mean two heads or tails, and we know there's a head or tail up here. And that would be three heads or tails. So these would be water, which means that this one would be land. And you can't come up here, because if you came up here, you would end. That would be an end, because you can't come down then. So you can never come up here then, at all. You would have to continue like that. And let's just put in the lines here. So that's a line, so there can't be a line here. That's a line, and that's a line. That's not going to work. Because those would both be 3 in that case. So that means that this is not gray. I did read the rephrase, don't worry. So I'm trying, like, I understand that. I understand that, Nordy. I'm trying to grasp how to see this in a nice way, because it's becoming really hard. And that's not completely the puzzle's fault. I did also say it is very hot. So I think maybe we should think about, does a river in box 1 need to visit the top row? And I think the answer is yes. Because if the river does not visit the top row, yeah, if the river doesn't visit the top row, then these two cells will have the same value. Because you can't, if the river doesn't visit up there, you can't influence them any more than these borders, but you can't come to just one of these two cells, can you? If you come to one of these two cells with the river, you have to come to the other one because of how the geometry works. Like, I can't just take, even if I made this water, I can't do this because that would mean that I have to touch myself. I have to come down here. Right, okay, so or wait, maybe, oh no, that would be coming up here. So I have to come up here if I want to do that. But if I came to here, then I couldn't come up here at all. So I can't come to here. Okay. That's a good way of thinking about it. So this is orange. So there's a line here. So there is water in the top row. We know that. We know that. Because if it doesn't visit the top row, then the 3, 4 is both 3 or both 4. Is that right? Because there's now this line. Did we have this line before? We didn't have that line before. So that means that theoretically we could do this, could we? With the river? Because then this one would be 3. Oh, no, that doesn't work. They're both still 3. Aren't they? 1, 2, 3. Oh, this line has just come from here. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Wake up. So if the river comes up here, then there's an end or a tail up here, isn't there? Because we can't bring, like, we can't bring this up here and then leave. So there must be an end or a tail up here. So, or sorry, a head or tail, end or tail. End and tail is the same thing, I think. So if the head is here, then we're gonna come something like this, right? Whereas if this is the head, which I think is the only other option, then we're gonna do something like this. But if we do this, we'll have to come to here. And then we'll have to come to here. One, two, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that does seem to work. This one, one, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So both of those seem to work. Now, in both of those cases, this is orange and this is gray. We don't know if they're land or water, but we know that's true. So this is gray and this is orange. In a rowboat. This is gray. Row 1, column 3 is water. Oh yeah, it is water. It's always water. So is this, isn't it? That's definitely true. Right, so these two, one of them needs to be water, and they can't both be water, so they're opposite. Some is a good word. Some is a good description of this. Some progress, not very much, but some. So I think we can now work out, so that this now would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whereas in this case, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's not enough. Because no matter what because this will be gray then. And no matter what this is, it can only have one of those boundaries, not two. So we'll only get to 5, ever. So this is a 6. And we can finally make some progress and color in some river. Just wait until someone says, nope, that's not right. We have found the other header tail. So then this must turn. Okay, it is right, apparently. We can add in some edges here. Okay, now let's count these. Yes, your arrival was the key to success. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 here right now. I'm going to put that as a little mark. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here right now. And in here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to pump these up a little bit. They're not performing at peak efficiency, I guess. Oh, we now know that this is 1. I counted the other ones, but I didn't count these. 1, 2, 3. And this must be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is no longer a 4. What else can we do from here? I want to do that, but that seems premature because I think this could go this way. Oh no, but then this can't go this way. This one has to be water, or sorry, land. So now this is forced to go this way, which means that we can green all of these. Which means we might even be able to fill in. Yeah, we can fill in this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I really don't want to like mess it up. Oh, row 5, column 5. Thank you. Yes. This one has 1, 2, 3 seen. So it's 3, 4, 7, 8, or 9. What's 6? Oh, it can be more. Yeah, you're totally right. 6, 7, 8, or 9. Can it? Oh, wait, no, it can be. It can only have 2 more, so it's 6, 7, or 8. Right, right. Dang. This could be water, and then these would be, yeah. That would bring this count up to 5, which would mean we'd need to get more in there. This is already a count of 4. So this is 4, 6, 4, 7, 8, or 9. It can have 1 more. 1, 2. How can it have 1 more? It can only have these 2 extras. So this one has 1, 2, 3. It could have these 2 to bring it up to 5, 6, 7, 8. That would create a head here. So one of those would have to be out. Oh, that would create a head here. So we'd have to do something like this. I think. No, that also wouldn't work. Yeah, you have to have a minimum of 3 cells in a run. And you can't split these up 2 and 2, so the minimum you can do is 3. So I think you can add 4 of these, so that brings the count to 7 only. So I don't think this could be 8 or 9, but it can be 6 because I removed that possibility when I thought I had the 6 before. Okay. Now we know that the river has to visit the areas of all the circles. So we sort of have an intuitive understanding of where the river goes now. It has to sort of like trickle around here. So there's not as many surprises right now. Ah, okay, so this one. If this is land, then there's a border here. But if this is water, then there's a border here. So this could never be 4, right? Wait, it already sees 5, doesn't it? 1, 2, yeah, this already sees 5. I don't know why I put 4 there. So this is the 7, 8, or 9, which this already sees 6 actually, because there is a border either here or here. So it's a count of 7 for sure. Row 1, column 6 already sees more than 2 borders, yeah. 1, 2, yeah. So this is at least a 7. But so we can only get 1 border out of these 3 cells, right? So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could get to 8, but you can't get to 9 because if this was green and this was blue, then this would be 8 because there's 2 borders. There's 3 borders that we get added here. And you could get to 7 if this was blue and this was green, because that would be 1, 2 borders that we added. So you can only get to 7 or 8, not 9. So this can't be 9 because that's going to be the same digit as that. Oh wait, we should put this as 6 because that's, we were doing, this already sees 6 borders. I guess we can put it at 5 because it does see 5 borders, but it must see another border here, but we already, I don't know what to mark it as. It's kind of confusing me now, my notation. So maybe we should think about this area. If this was a 3, I don't know. I don't want to do the rest of the puzzle like this. We already did half the puzzle like this. I feel like I'm being arrogant saying that this is half the puzzle. Hopeful, I guess, is the word that I would use to describe that assumption. Well, I'm not saying I don't want to do more of the puzzle, but I hope the rest of the puzzle is kinder. I see that Nordy says it is kinder, so I'm hopeful. I guess these are low digits. I mean, I don't know how useful that is. I'm just trying to mark them just in case there's some quadruple that I'm not seeing. If this was like land and then water here, you'd have to have a corner. This would have to come out. That would almost determine what this circle is. I'm just curious about that. So if I do this, this has to come out. This has to be green, obviously. So this has to be blue. And now we can add some borders in here. And we can think about this value. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it can't be 5. It can either be 5 or 7, right? Because this, if this is green, oh no, that's 6. It's either 6 or 7, right? Because if this is blue, that's 1. No, wait, it's only 6, isn't it? If this is if this is blue, that's 1 more, and if this is green, that's still 1 more. Okay, so this is a 6 then, in this instance, and this would be an 8 because of adding 2 borders here, adding 3 borders. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's really helpful. I guess we know that one of these is water, right? Because if that's water, I guess they could both be water. This would have to be green then. Yeah, so if this is green or blue, then this is 7. Oh, wait, am I... I've been treating this as a circle for like 15 minutes. Yeah, it's not a circle. It's a square. It's a square. Oh my god. Well, no worries, Nordy. It's okay. But I do need to get rid of the center marks here. How can we place the digits in box 1? We don't know anything about this. This sees 4 right now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This sees 6. How did I put it as 4? Let me just recount that because I'm being dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that can also be 9 because that was from the... One, two, three, four, 5. Oh, it can only have 2 borders, 2 more borders in here because you can't dip in and then back up. So there's only 2 more borders possible in here. But that brings us to 7, which is fine. But here, that actually, wait, so this is 4 right now, because there's 3 borders right now. So the maximum number of borders in row 2 is 5. So there is at least 2 borders in each of these columns, and together there must be at least 5 borders. And isn't the same true of row 3? There can only be 2 borders over here. Plus 3 is 5. But there's already 3 borders in here. There will be 4 or 5 and 4 or 5 in row 3. So there can be a maximum. Are we looking at maximums or minimums, I guess, is the real question. I guess we can look at maximums now. At least 1 more. No, it doesn't. Oh, this one. Yeah, this one does need to see at least 1 more. So these couldn't all be, I thought you were talking about this one, sorry. So these couldn't all be that. So what's the scenario in which this is 3? Because if you just run by it, it's 3, right? But if we run by it, then what we actually do is we do this if we run by it, because we can't come into here and take these 2 cells and run by it. You can't do that, because then you'd be creating another head or tail escape. So row 7, I'm not sure I follow that. Because on the side, there needs to be a run of 3. Right, okay, and every run of 3, well, a run of 3 or more. And every run of 3 encapsulates this cell, okay. Jeez. And Well, haven't we already sort of done that? Like if I do this, right? If I don't really care about it and I just do this, that makes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that's a lot. Wait. So if I don't really care about it, it creates 5, which would mean that this is 9. But if I do care about it, I can get to 4, which means that this could be 8. But this can never be 7. Because you're going to have one border at least down here. And in fact, you're going to need at least 2 borders. Aren't you? Because you have to cut in here and then out. There's going to be 1 here and 1 here, at least. So that's 2, which makes this count 4 at least. Oh, but 4 plus... Wait, 4 plus 4, it could be 4 plus 4, right? Or wait, if we do this, right? 1, 2. Oh, that's not enough. We'd have to have 5. So this is always 9. Yeah, this is always 9. And if I try to make this 8, I feel like that's really hard, or maybe impossible. Because if I do this, right? 1, 2, 3. 3 plus 5 is 8, but then you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4 plus 5 is 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, that's 5. Ah, okay, so you can never make it 8. You can never make this 8. So this is always 7. And this is always 8. If row 2... No, because then SPQ, then sorry, I didn't explain this. You're totally right that I didn't explain this. Because by making this water, oh wait. Oh, you could do this. Yeah, you could do this. And then that would increase the count enough. Okay, you're right. I was thinking about it a little bit incorrectly, I think. Yeah, so, but still, can this be 8? Maybe with that. So let's think about that for a second. This is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so then that would be 8 and 9. But this can never be greater than that, so that's never 9. Two, 3, 6. Okay, so let's just look at the minimum of this, because there's going to be... So if we try to minimize this, right, then we'll do this, and we'll do this, right? And let's count these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this can't be 7, which means that this is 7. All right. So if this is 7, we know it's either 2 and 5 or 3 and 4. Brain hurt. um, I'm trying to think about different orientations of this and how they give values. Because we know that this is traveling downwards here. We can't turn this way. If we turn this way, then this is all broken. So what's the earliest? Well, we could do this. That's actually broken, yeah. That is actually broken. Unless maybe... No, that is broken because we can't get down to here. So there's no way... Oh, but we could do something like this, couldn't we? I was going to say these are land, but no, we could do something like that. Yeah, that would be fine. In fact, this one... If we don't do that, if we don't do that, and we don't come across here, which I don't know, we could do that. Oh my word. Row 4. Well, either this is land, and that's a 6, or it's water, and it's an 8. So, yes. Good point. Thank you, woofers. Welcome. So there's either 2 here, or none. This can never be 4 because then we'd be increasing the count by 1. And we can't increase the count by 1. So this can never be 4. Now I'm wondering if it can be 6 because 6 would require that this is 8, which would mean that there's 2 lines here. But now we're up to a count of 5, which means again we need to add one boundary, which we can do by doing that, can't we? We do water here, land here. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Okay, so not as smart as I thought I was. Much hotter than I thought I'd be. Much hotter. I was hoping to at least get this puzzle done. Do we know which one of these is bigger? don't they have the same count over here? Because we can only go down here or go down here. So they have the same count over here. So if they both had 5, I honestly have no clue, Nordy. That is not something I really thought about. Oh, wait. Oh, this is what I was thinking about. Sort of. Yes, this is what I was thinking about. This is what I was trying to. Did I announce today's stream? Yeah, I announced it yesterday. Row 2, 3 could have different border counts. Yes, this is the only way that it could have two different border counts, is this. So I'm wondering, can we make it so that column 2 and 3 have different border counts? Because if we can't, well, they already have different border counts so far. So if it just came across the bottom, then they would have different border counts already. Oh, I see. A 2-day stream. No, if I need to, I'll take a little break instead. Wait, in this row, we see either 4 or 5 boundaries, right? We've already worked that out. But this cell can't be 6 or 7 or 5. And it sees one boundary plus at least 4 or 5. So it must be the other 8 or 9. Therefore, it must see. So if it was 5, then it would need at least 3 in its column, which doesn't mean which doesn't mean we have to wiggle. I thought we had to wiggle, which would be. Wait a second. If we had to wiggle, it'd be broken. We can't wiggle. Yeah, we can't wiggle. So this is an 8. That has to be true. There's no way this is not an 8. Because the maximum number of, somehow, in these 5 cells, we can't wiggle. We can't wiggle back and forth. If we leave and we try to come back, we can't get out. But we need to get out. Sorry. So we can't increase the count more than 3. Is that right? Oh wait, we could do this. Hold up. We could barely do something here. Row 9. Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. So this is the only. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, that means there's always 5 in this row. So that is always green. We must see 5 boundaries in this row. We can't see 4. 2, 3. Wait, isn't the minimum number of boundaries you can see in this column is 4? 4 plus 5, isn't that 9? Yeah. Yeah, okay, so this is the key. This is the key. So, this is crazy. Yeah, it has to wiggle like that. But even if it wiggled like that, SPQ, then it would only see 4 boundaries, because there'd be 1, there'd be 2, there'd be 3, and there'd be the 4th one that we already had, right? That's 4 boundaries. Oh wait, no, but then this could just be 8. I was thinking it had to be 9. If there were 4 boundaries, it could just be 8. There's so many possibilities. Could just be 8. If it was just 8, then it would be 4 in the row. So just 8, then it would be 4 in the row, which would mean what? Which would mean what? If there's 4 in the row, there could be 5 in the column, which is exactly what I didn't want. Can this be land? Well, then these would have the same count. So these would both be 5. Which would mean that this one with 1, 2, 3, 4 at the minimum would have to be 9. So this would have to be 8. So it would have to have 1, 2, 3. Oh, they can't both be 5. That's the point. That's the point. They can't both be 5. Okay, so this is water. They could both be 4, I think, but they can't both be 5. Okay, let's delete this for a second. Hello, Carl. How are you doing? We're finding the Loch Ness Monster today. It turns out it's harder than you thought to find the Loch Ness Monster. So that means the count in this row is 4. And the count in this row is at least 4, but it could be 5. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. But the count... Ah, this is it. This is it. If the count is 5 here, right? I can't make the count 4 in this column. Because if I made the count 4 in this column, then I would be stuck. I can't get out. Because there's not enough room here. That's sort of the same thing that happened up here. So, if I made the count 5 here, to make this be 9, right? Then the count over here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. So you get 2 9s in here if you try to make this count 5. I think that's right. Okay, he's saying yes. So, oh, we did it. So this count cannot be 5, so this must be blue. And if this count can't be 5, it must be 4. And this count we already know is 4. So this is an 8. So this is 8. We don't know if this wiggles. It could still wiggle. But we know that this is not a 2 because we know that a 2 on the edge must have these 2 cells as land. So that is a 3. Right, because if this had a higher count than this, then you would have to somehow reduce both of these, reduce one of them, which doesn't work. Okay, that's really cool. I think this puzzle is really cool. It's just mind-bendingly hard. Don't make the mistake of thinking that since I'm going crazy, that I don't like the puzzle. I do like the puzzle. It's a good puzzle. It's just really hard. Oh yeah, I do believe it. It is just, we will actually, Nordy, we will actually talk about this sort of, the comment that there is a logical path through something, but the logical path takes 3 hours, or 16 hours in your case to find the logical path. Does that mean the same thing as when you say there's a logical path in any other puzzle? Does that actually mean the same thing, or is that, you know what I mean? Oh, the list, the setting discussion list? Okay, yeah. I will add your name in there. Yeah, we will actually talk about that in difficulty creep. I do want to ask people about that because I have opinions that are being formed about what the word's logical path means, and whether or not that is sufficient anymore. Because while you can find a logical path, is it a logical path that is in the same sense as, you know, a normal logical path? Or is it like, takes very long time to discover? Oh, there's an 8 here now. Oh, this is not a circle. Again, losing my mind. Indeed, definitely. And that's exactly what it is, a philosophical question. It's not one that has one answer, for sure. It is very subjective. Which is why we need to discuss. Can row 3, column 8 be blue? Maybe, I don't know. Seems like it could be. If it was, then I'm actually thinking about this instead because 3, 4. I'm wondering if this does not take this cell, can it actually be 3? Because if it doesn't take that cell, right, then it has to come up. It has to be a corner because it can't be a head or a tail. And now the count is 4 because 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have said before many times, this cannot reduce its count. Row 8, oh. It's funny, you said, I thought you said row 3, column 8. And then I was like, I have no idea. I'm going to look at row 8, column 3 instead. But you had said row 8, column 3. I don't know what's going on with my brain sometimes. So the idea that Nordy tried to point us in is that that I ignored you and then did exactly what you wanted, yeah. Is that if this one is in, what I was thinking about was is this one out? But if this one is in, then we can never make the count 3. So we actually have to do this, which in doing that makes this count 1, 2, 3, 4. So this count will have to be 5, so that has to be green. Which does mean that this is blue, but not what Nordy was saying. So this is green. And okay, so now this is 5, right? So now the 7 needs to see 2. Wait, how does that work? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So we need to touch the bottom. We need to touch the bottom because that's right. Okay, these are all green. I was just, yeah. And this has to be green too. Because if it, oh no, wait. If it was blue, then we would still have this border. Right, okay. So we don't actually know. So what does that give us now? As is row 4, column 8? Yes, indeed it is. And we have to continue this blue. Now this is blue, so it can't be 2. Could be 4, and I think it could be 3 only if it takes this cell. If it took this cell, it would be 4 automatically. We can add some borders in here to make ourselves feel better. Now, I think we might be out of luck with this. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe we think about this one. Because now, these can't be blue. Right, okay, so these can't be blue. So this has a very, very few things it can do. In fact, I think almost the count here is forced for this one. Because if this does this, we get 1, 2, 3 from it. Oh, 4, 5, I guess. But if it does this, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we always get 5, don't we? 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we only got 3 that time. So if it does this, we get 3 here. Well, we get 3 from what we did, plus another one. But if it did that, that would be 4 and 3, wouldn't it? Yeah, so that would be 4 and 3. And the other two ones were 6, right? They had 5 additional. 1, 2. God, this is confusing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. That's 7, not 6, isn't it? Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it is 7. And then this would be 3. Whereas if we did this, this is just a counting stream now, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be a 4 in that case. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really? Okay, interesting. How strange. Really, I did? Okay, this sees 2 outside of here. So that's makes sense for 6. I think I did that one right. If it does this, so that sees 3, right? Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. Yeah, I did it overcount. I counted this one. So that would be 6 still. Yeah, I did overcount this one. I think I counted this one right. Yeah, the only extra one is this, which would make this 4. Okay. Definitely a 3 in here. This one, so this will see, oh, this will see 5 in the row. So it needs to see 3 in the column, not 4. So it needs to see 3, not 4. So how could that ever be in? If that's in, you never see 3, you always see 2 or 4. So we know that this cell is green. So we know this one comes up. And we know that this will cut across here, making 2, and then that will finish the 8. So in this column, we have 3 plus the 1 here. So this is 4 already. And we could only have 2 at most over here. So this could be a maximum of 6, or it could be 5 if you got all the way over here. Okay. That's that. I was hoping that would resolve. But no, of course not. We know that this is green now. We didn't know that before. So then, is this impacted by that? Not at all, because if you did this, that's the maximum, right? And then this is 6. And then all these being green is 3. So we've actually gotten nowhere there. This has done nothing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 already here. We need to cut across again. There will be another one up here, so that's at least 5, 6, 7. No, wait, no, 5, 6. No, we could do this. So that's only 5. Ugh, okay. But how big could we realistically make that? I mean, we could do that, which would be 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 4 plus the existing 4 is 8. So that can't be 9. This one, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 3. Can it be 9? So it has 3 already, right? It can't have a 5 or an 8. This one also had 3 in the row. So this is these are identical, basically. Wait, these are identical. So there needs to be a cut across here. Because if there isn't a cut across here, if we say that, oh, there is a cut here. Yeah, there is definitely a cut there. So this can't even be 6, can it? Because there's one more here, for sure. And then there's the base 5 we had here, right? But that would make it 6, wouldn't it? Well, nothing can cut across here. It has to be this one. So this is one more than this. We know that for sure, actually. Exactly. Exactly one more. So, yes, exactly. So this sees exactly one more than this. So there's no way that this could be a 7. So this is 5, 6, or 8. Okay. These can't be water. These are green. So this one is very limited, I think. Yep. Seen it 1 second before. So if we did this, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we did this, that would be very similar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. If we did that, that decreases the count by 1, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it'd be 3. And then if we didn't come to this cell at all and we did this, then that would be a 0. But if we did come there, so we can't actually come to the top cell here. This cell is green. We know that for sure now. Because if we came to the top cell here, we would not even visit this at all. Interesting. Maybe the rules should be phrased in that way. So that would be 2 in this case. So it could be 2. Yes. And it removes 5 from here as well. Which creates a 6-8 pair. Which means we should probably look at this cell. Also, 6 in this box is limited to these cells. And 8, actually. Which is kind of weird. And 8 can't go there, so 8 is actually limited to these 2 cells. So 8 is only in 3 cells in this box. 4 cells in this box. Kind of weird. This cell, though. This cell... Definitely not 0. It could be... Could it be 2? I'm trying to think if it could be 2. Oh, in fact, it is at least 2 because it sees whatever... No matter what this thing does, if it comes up even, then there will be a border here. So this one will see that. So it's at least 2. I'm not sure what that means, but this one, I guess we can run through all those scenarios for this one too. It already sees 1. That would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, now I've miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that would be 6. Oh, but this would be 6 too. Well, that's weird. Let me just confirm that. Hello again, Mr. Sam Oswald. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's the same. So that means that neither of these can be 6. Yeah. And this cell is green. Because that's the only situation in which that's green. We do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's not going to work. And that corresponded to 2 here, right? So that can't be a 2. So the other 2 ways are this and this. But this one is always river. Hello, Malcolm. Welcome to chat. That wasn't 2. Oh, you're absolutely right. That was 4, wasn't it? Quite a bit more than 2, actually. So that's the case for 3. What is the case for 2? Oh, it's this. Because these are both 3. This one means that this is 2. But what is this? That would be 3 then. So there's always a 3 in here. Okay, so if this says this. Oh my word. This puzzle has turned into a grind, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that doesn't work. If we do this, so this is always green then. If we do this, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we know that this one is always 1 more than this. We know that this is green. It's nothing like this one. This puzzle has some cool steps. It also has some really, really hard steps. Wait, isn't that already 3? 1, 2, 3. And then whether this is green or blue, this will be 4. I think I miscounted. Hopefully I didn't miscount the other ones that I eliminated. Because if this is green, there'll be a border here. And if it's blue, there'll be a border here. Which means this is always a 4. Which means we can probably get rid of 4s and add 3s here. Row 9, column 8. Yeah, there's no rules about repeated digits on land or water. Okay, so this sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it either needs to see 1 or 3. So this is always water then. And this is always green. No, it isn't. No, this isn't always green. I don't know where that came from, but this is definitely always water. So this seems a little bit more limited now. It sees 1, 2, 2 borders here, and it can see at most, we could see 3 borders down there. Or if you did something like that, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4 borders. So it could be as high as 6. Can it be higher than 6? Yeah, I don't think it can be higher than 6. So it's 2, 3, or 5. Is row 3? At most 2 more. Because it sees 4 in the row, and then this one sees at most. Are you sure? At most? You mean at least? Because it is at least. Well, this sees 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one sees 2 in the row. So if both of these saw no more in the row, and they see the equal amount in the column, they'd be at least 2 different. I'm not sure where you're getting at most. But more borders lower than that. Oh, this had, well, actually, it has to be more than, it has to be more, actually. It's at least. If it was at most, then what would happen was that this would see no more borders, and this would happen, and this branches. So we actually can't do that. So this is at least 3 now, less than this. So this is 6 at most. It already sees 1, 2, 3, 4. So it can't be lower than 4, and it can't be. If I add like a ton of borders in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. then this would be 2 greater than this. So that would have to be 9, and that would be 7. And it would be broken. Oh no, it wouldn't be broken. That would be actually right. Okay, so there's at least another border in here. I don't think this can be 5, because if it was 5, then it would need to be 2. Oh, no, wait, could this be 9? No, this can't be 5. It needs to be 6, at least. If row 3, column 8, is a 9, then there's 5 borders in column 8. We'd see at least 2 borders in the row, so it would be at least 7, right? But if that was a 7, no, it would be at least 8, because it would see at least 3 borders in the row, because woofers, we can't have 2 borders in the row. We can't do this. That would branch. This is where I'm getting confused, because we can't actually do that. This needs to be at least 6. Okay. I was just confused. I think we were talking about different things and getting confused with each other. Row 9, column 7, be land. This is a 5? How do you know that? Wait, what? Oh, okay. Oh yes, I do see this. I do see this. If this was land, then this would have to escape and it would break. So this is water. I was looking at the clues in the rows and columns, sorry. Now, if we could just force this water one more cell over, we get a 4 here. Which would mean that this couldn't come to here. Because if it did, then this would be a 4. So these can't both be water. But they could both be land. If it's a 6, then this would be a 9. Wait a second. I just realized something. Not only do we have the border from this one, right? Oh no, this could be the same border. Sorry, I don't know why. Oh no, wait, no. If this is the same border, right? Then this has to get out. Which means we have at least one more border. So this can't be 6. It has to be at least 7. And if it's at least 7... Oh. Can this ever be 7? Yeah, we literally gave an example before when this was 7 and this was 9. It wasn't, didn't it? Why can't there be 4 borders in row 8? Oh, because then these would be equal. Wait, if these... Wait. So this does not come over here. So this one does come out by itself. So that means that if we did this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's at least 5 in this row. So this can't be a 7, right? Oh yeah, there's 3 borders in this row. You're totally right. So this is 8 or 9. But if it's 8, then this is 6. Which seems suspicious. This is 8, then this is 6. If it's 6, then there's 3 borders in the column, right? 3 borders plus 4 is 7. Wait, isn't this 7 no matter what this is? Because if this is 8, this is 6. That's 1, 2, 3. So there'll be 3 borders in this column, which means that this has to be a 7. But if this is 9, that's obviously a 7. So this is always a 7. So there is 3 borders in this column. Yes, okay, yes. You're agreeing with me, yes. This is a weird puzzle. I like this ending a lot more than the beginning, to be honest. We can do 6 borders, I think. If we do... How do we do 6 borders? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... That's... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, how the heck do we do 5 borders then? Is that really 6? Did I miscount? 1. This is counting stream now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do we reduce that? How do we reduce that? I don't think we can reduce that at all. How do we make this 5? We can't. We already looked at this. We already looked at it if these join, and it was wrong. We can't do that. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. Oh, wait. Don't use column 9. That is 5. Crap. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should focus on the things we do know. Row 8, column 7 is land no matter what? No, I think it could be water because it could do this and that. I was just saying that it had to do this because for fun, but like, yeah. Row 4, column 8 is known. Yeah, it's a 6, obviously. So that's an 8, which means that this is water, which we tried to make that not water before, and we paid for it, so we didn't really pay for it. It was like 2 seconds. But now this one has to be green. This one, it can no longer be 3, and in fact, it must be 7, right? 2, 3, 4. Wait. Oh no, this could be either one, and that would determine whether this is 6 or 7. This has to come out, of course. That's green, then this is a 6. If that's blue, then this is a 7. There's an 8 down here. Can that be an 8? Probably not. But maybe. Oh wait, is this fixed now? Because this sees 1, 2, 3, 4, and it can't be 4, so it is 5. So then this must be in, which means that that's blue. Oh, this is broken. It's broken. Because this count is wrong, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's wrong. What did we do? What land? This can't branch. Oh, you're right, you're right. This is green. It can't be blue. Yes, yes. Thank you, woofers. Thank you, woofers. Oh, I was so sad for a second. Okay, that was soul crushing, but we're good now. But this still can't connect because it's the same problem. So this is 3 now. Yeah, very scary. And it still can't connect because of the same problem. So now this comes out, and it attaches to this in one of these 2 cells. So I can see that this will attach to this will attach to this, and this will attach to this. Just the way in which that works is not entirely clear yet. This one we should know, or we can use these 2 together, can't we? Because there's always one edge here. It's either here or here. So there's 1, 2, 3 edges in this row. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 edges in this row. So this is either 1 or 2 greater than this. So this can't be a this can't be a 9. I don't even know what that was. So this is either 7 if that's a 6. It can't be 8, but it could be 9. how many is there? 1, 2. So there's 2 currently in this column. 2 plus 3 is only 5, so there would need to be at least 1 more in this column. There is 1 more here. So there's at least 6. So down here, there can only be 1. Row, okay, ignore that. Could you also use column 6? When it's reverse, column 6 is like confusing. Column 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. Column 8 is solved. I don't see how. Like if we did that as blue, this can just come over, right? And then come down here. They can touch diagonally, by the way. This would come over here. So there's that one option, right? That would mean that this is 1, 2, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a second. What did I just say before about this down here? Did I say there can only be 1? Is that what I said? 1 at most? Because there's 1 here. 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there can be 1 down here at most. So either there are no blue cells down here, or this is a blue cell. So either all 3 of these cells are green, which should work nicely with the 2. Wait a second. This one is always green, isn't it? Because if that one's blue, then this and this can never be a 2. But I don't think they can be a 4 either. Can they? You'd have to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is actually 4. Never mind. Yeah, not all blue because, oh wait. Oh, you're totally right. They're either all blue or all, so they're the same color. It's so weird. So we can probably get some work on this because whether this is blue or green, there's 1 border that's created here. So there's 1, 2, 3, not 4. So there's at least 3 here. What's the maximum though? So we could do that. No, we can't do that. We could do that. That is possible. That would also require this. And this. And this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I need to recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was really hoping the maximum would be 7. Ugh. Rest in peace. This might beat Aquarium for longest solve. I think it already has actually beat Aquarium for longest solve. Or maybe dismay was longest solve. I don't know. It was really long. Both of those. Really long. How is that resolved by red? These can be all green. Row 8, column 7 is non-red. Yeah, that's true. Wait. Why did you not shout at me when we touched this cell? We touched this cell, and that means that this is a 9, isn't it? Row 5, column 4. I'm pretty sure that it's 6 if this is green. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if it's blue, it creates 2 boundaries here, which makes it 7. I don't think that's right, Kagisho, because if you did that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6, not 5. Since we touched here, we can't make it 5 anymore. Right? Okay, yeah. This is 9, right? What's up, Playmaker? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's just always 6. What? Are you trolling? You're trolling. Yeah, this is the first and only puzzle. 3 in this box is in these 2 cells. Row 7, column 6, column, this one? Oh yeah, probably more than 3. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll recount it because I was just looking at what it already had is actually what I did. There's at least 4 for sure because there's 1 between one of these 2 cells and there's 1 here. And then there will be 1. I think there'll be 1 here for sure. Either here or here or here. Well, if these were all green, could those all be green? And this be a 4? One, 2, 3, 4. No, there would be a line here, right? Okay. So it's minimum 5. Stop. Seven in this cell forces 6 in this cell. And and 7 in this cell versus 9 in this cell, obviously. So there's two situations here. Both of them have 7s in those cells, obviously. So there's two sort of resolutions to the grid. So we should only get 2 values for here. Right, okay. So if this is all green, then this is a 7. 1, 2. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, since this can't be 8, then this is always a 6. There's no situation in which this can't be a 7. If this is a 7, then this is a 9. But if this is a 9, it just doesn't work. The things don't add up. Because this would have to have 5 plus the 4. Wait, 5 plus the 4. No, wait, there is a 7 in one of these two. Dang it, I got that wrong. It's the other way around. So this can't be a 7, though. 9 requires red equals blue. Oh, 9 definitely requires red equals blue. 7 requires red equals green. And that this be a 6, so if this is the case and this is the case, what is this number? Then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry, 6. That's it, 6. So it's either, wait, it can't be 6. Wait. If that's a 7 and this is a 6, then this is also a 6, right? But this 6 says that this is green. So this goes here, which means that these are green because of this thing. But now this is green and this is blue. But now I think I just counted this to be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that's a 6. So this can't be 6. So that means that that's a 9. Wow, that was actually the intended step. Okay, that's insane. I can't. Okay, that's insane. Yeah, I know you did. I'm sure you did. Not exactly intended. Okay. I'm sure there was a very beautiful way to see it. Yeah. I didn't. Okay, so this is that. This could still be blue, which is annoying. This has to be green because we need 5 boundaries in here. So then this comes down to here. Now if that comes down to there, then this has to be a 4 because 3 only does this. That's the only way 3 works here. So this has to be a 6 then, and this has to be a 3. So there's the 3 down here. There's a 6 in one of these two. Row 7, column 5 is land. How do we know that? Oh, because it doesn't touch itself, of course. So now this has to come up, which makes that a 7 and that a 6. I I feel like we did a lot of whittling. I don't know about chat, but I do feel like we did heckin' whittling. I tried. I really tried to whittle. Twice as much whittling. Okay. A whittle more whittling. No, not like this. Yeah, hopefully we don't make a loop. Okay, so we should be able to solve the puzzle now. I missed a border here. So this cell, what can this cell be? It's determined, isn't it? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. That was the least helpful one. Box 8 circles done? Oh, this one's done too, yeah. Oh, actually, wait. This is a 4, right? So this can't be water. We determined that before. So then this is going to be land, and that's going to be water. So this is not 4. It's got to be 5, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got to be 6. Oh, crap. Okay, wait. Why did we say this has to be land? Because it has to be water. It has to be water. I don't know what I did before, but it was wrong before. Yes, it was indeed wrong. You could tell that because the puzzle didn't work. That's called logical reasoning. Of which we can do, I think. This one, yeah, probably. So there's gonna be a border in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a 6. And there's no 6s looking at it, I don't think. So that's not a 6, and this is a 6. Seven? Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you're right. Counting stream where man does not count correctly. So that's a 7. So that's not a 7. Can you count to 7? I thought I could until this puzzle. Slowly whittling down row 6, column 3. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Is an 8? Probably. So there's 1 in this column, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8. Hopefully it's not 7, because then we'd have big problems. So there's no 8s in there, so there's an 8 down here. That's no longer an 8. Yeah, digits can repeat along the river. I started answering that and realized that it was a joke, and I just continued to answer it. That makes... Ah, right. If this was water, then that would be broken, right? Of course. I did that sort of in my head when I was counting it and then didn't do it. Okay, so now we need to finish the puzzle by noting the position of 9 in box. Nope, that was wrong. Row. Which row 4? How does that see 3 borders? No, it sees 4 borders, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it does. If you do this, which we had, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it goes down, does it? We had this. So 1, 2, 3. Damn it. I don't know why, but I thought when it went up, it was 3, and that's the only case when it was 3, but I guess not. We got those, and those are right. Those are not dependent on anything, really. So then we need to fill in this because these will be green, right? So then these will be... Yeah, okay, so that works. We also need to fill in that this is a 5, this is a 4. This needs to be blue, that needs to be green. Please tell me if I've messed up somewhere. This is an 8. Did that before. That's going to be a 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And that's going to be a 7. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I thought this was 4. I thought I had determined that before, but I guess not. So that's not an 8, of course. Have we used all the clues? Now I'm worried. It looks like we've used all the clues. And it does not appear to be easily resolved. Okay, well, let's look at this cell because it can only be 9 or 6 or 1. This cell can only be 1 or 8. Seven in box 8 is resolved. Yeah. We did that before, didn't we? I remembered 7 was more restricted than it was here. That's going to be a 7 because the only place in row 4 that a 7 can go. And that's going to be a 7. 5 in box 5 is placed. Yeah, it is placed right there. 5 in this box is kind of restricted. Oh yeah, this definitely finishes the river, for sure. So what do we need in this column? We need 6, 2, 3, and 1. That's not good. Why don't we use those 7s that we got to place the last 7 here? Why don't we use the 5s we got to do barely anything? 5 in this box is in one of these two cells. 6 in column 6. I thought I said that was useless. I did say it was useless, but it's place. Right there. Okay. 8 in row 2, column 5. No, Malcolm, there's going to be a boundary here either way, so it will be satisfied. I'm fairly certain. Because whether this is a 6 in box 5 is placed now. Four in box 9 gives you a 4-5 pair, yeah. So then we should look at the other digits in this box. Let's just pencil mark them all. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 8. 8s aren't on the corners. 3 isn't anywhere here, so that's not a 3, and that's placing the 3 and the 5, which resolves the 4-5 pair. Puts a 4 into one of these two cells. That's not a 5 anymore. So 4 up here. Okay, so there's a 3 in here, but we also want to look at 6 can't go there. There's not even 1 or 2 looking at that. 9 in box 6 is placed right here. So those are not 9. Which means there is a 9 in here. Which means in here there's a 9 up here. Which is not there because of that. So that's a 9. So that's an 8. This is a 1, 2, or 6, and it's not a 6. So there is a 6 in here, which means there's not a 6 there. That's not a 6 because of the row. In box 6 and box 4. Box 4 is obviously placed in that cell because of these two 9s. That's not a 9 anymore. So this is a 1, 2. This is 1, 2, 4. That makes a 1, 2 pair here. There's no 8 down here. And this could have been seen in a different way, but whatever. Got them at the same time. In here we need 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are not 3s. That's not a 1. That's not a 2. There's a 3 over here, which you could have seen from this row because it's 1, 2, 4. Row 1, column 5 is naked. Yes, it's a 1. So that's a 6, that's a 2, that's a 1. That 2 gives us a 3 here, which means that this has to be blue and that has to be green, because this adds 2 instead of 1. These are not 2 or 3, which means this is a 9, this is a 6. That's not a 3 or a 4, so this is a 1, 2, and that's going to be a 2, that's going to be a 1. These are definitely not 1s, which means that's a 1, which means that's a 2. That's going to be a 4. That's a 3. That's a 4. That's a 2. That's not a 2. That's a 5 or 8. That's a 1 or 8. That's not a 4 anymore, so this is a 4. This is either 2 or 4, and the 4 looks over to see if it's a 2. That's a 1, that's a 5, that's a 2, that's a 4, that's a 2, this is going to be a 4. That's a 2, that's a 2, that's a 1. Almost there. This is 3, 6, or 9. So it's 3, 9. This is 3, 6, or 9, so it's 6, 9. It's not resolved, fortunately. Oh, this 5 tells us that this is an 8, and this is a 1. So this digit is naked. That's, what is that? A 5? Yeah. So these digits are 3, 8, and 1. So that's going to be a 1. That's an 8. That's a 3. That's a 6, 9, 3, 8, 9, and a 6. Wow, that was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Very, very interesting puzzle. I did enjoy lots of parts of that. Yeah, puzzles with water. I don't know, water seems to be my nemesis for some reason. That went really long. Here, I will reward you for your patience with Cat. This is my other cat. His name is Clark. Be right back in a set an aquarium CC. I should just remove all the water themed puzzles from my queue. It is definitely a tough puzzle. He's a bit more chonked than the other cat, but he's not too chonky. It's a nice primer for the setting discussion. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I needed like a good influence, a good like jumping off point. I mean, yeah, definitely difficulty creep has seen this puzzle. Let's see if it's rated once we put it in. Let me just, before we end the stream, let's see if it's rated. Okay, let me put that on the other screen so that I can type this in. Okay, so the solution code requires row 3 and column 6. Okay. So row 3 is 5186. 5186 93472, and column 6 is 723195864. Sorry, I had to look a little bit down there. Hopefully that's right. definitely an atypical puzzle. I think there's a lot of puzzles which are very hard because you need to learn the steps beforehand. I don't think so, SPQ, but I wish there was. It's really annoying. It doesn't appear to have gotten rated. Sometimes it is a bit slow, so I will... Oh, it is rated. It has been rated. Oh, crap. Can you see that? Probably not. All right. Well, that's a good happy ending, and yeah, very well done, Nordy and Henry Pajamas for coming up with that beast. It really is a beast, Nessie. And I hope you guys have a really great game. Really great rest of your day. You can see that I'm like dying from the sweat of the heat. But oh, absolutely. All right. Goodbye.